actually start vertical. Whoops. On the other platforms. What's up, vertical? And hi, YouTube. But yeah, Whose Line? I think Whose Line needs to be on its own tier. So we're gonna add a row below. And we're gonna call this one. We're gonna call this one. I changed the color of this one. Let's give you that color. We're gonna call this one not a game show. Oops. But still great. We're gonna put that one right there in its own tier, starting with Whose Line. Not a game show, but still great. Okay. Let's do one more before I have to dip here for a second. Let's do. Ooh, hard to pick. Let's do Blockbusters. Blockbusters. This is hosted by Bill Cullen. If you've heard of Blockbusters, it's not the video rental store where there's only one left in the world. Blockbuster. You may, if you're in Europe, if you're in UK, you might have heard of this show before. It had a much more successful run over there than they did over here. I don't remember how long Blockbusters lasted here, but they did do. They did one, and then they did a reboot later on with Bill Rafferty, host of the syndicated Card Sharks. But this one originally was hosted by Bill Cullen, and Bill Cullen, let me tell you, Bill Cullen was the most versatile host in the business. If there was a game show that had a funky concept or whatever, or you saw him in a lot of game shows. He often joked that he could never keep a job, because ironically the game shows that he did host did not last for a very long time, which is apart from one of them. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Yeah, Blockbusters is one solo player against a family pair, and they have to answer questions based on letters on the board. And the solo player has to connect their color from top to bottom, and then the family pair has to connect from left to right. Solo player is red, and the family pair is like a white color, and they had to connect from top to. They had to connect their side to each other, like from side to side. So you would say like, you would pick the letter C. What C is called a nut, but is actually not a nut. And then you would buzz and you're like, oh, it's a coconut. And then, yeah, and then you get that kind of tile there. I highly encourage you guys to if any of these game shows sound interesting to you, just look them up, and you'll find a lot of footage on YouTube, archive.org. And the final round, the bonus round for this, where you win $5,000, is the gold run, where if it's a family pair, you choose one person. If you're a solo, you just go in by yourself. But you have to you have to connect gold to gold, left to right. So at the minimum 5 tiles, right? And there's certain initials on each tile. So instead of letters, it's initials. You have to fill in those initials from the clue that you're given, and you have to try not to block yourself out. You have to do that in a minute, and then if you do that, you win $5,000. And then there is one solo person who went all the way and won the maximum that you can. All right, won every gold run, play the maximum amount of games, and I think he walked away with over $100,000. That amount of money in the 70s, in the mid to late 70s, even, that's a lot. That is a lot. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Bill Cullen is really what makes that, because Bill Cullen gets along with everybody. He likes to make a lot of quips. He also likes to explain the game a lot, constantly, which is maybe a detriment to the home viewer who wants to just watch action happen. But it really he does it for the benefit of the contestants, just to make them feel like more at ease and to make sure they know the rules. I guess he wants to do it for the viewer as well, in case someone's like tuning in for the first time. But no, he's the clips he makes are very interesting. Quite funny indeed. So yeah, blockbusters I would place. God. It's simple once you get to know it. On the surface, it might not seem simple, but I'll put it at A for now. I like blockbusters. I like it. It also has a rockin' theme. A lot of like trumpets and brass. Are you ready? All right. Okay. So this is the list for now. I will be right back because we gotta go cut my sister's cake, sing happy birthday and all that, and I will run a quick ad break, and when we come back, more ranking of game shows. So please stick around if you can, if you will. Tell your friends, tell your family that we're ranking game shows today, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Ads starting now. Yo, I'm back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting. What's up, what's up? Welcome back. It's time. I should get that pin message off there. How do we do that? How do we do that? Unpin this message. Okay, good. welcome back. All right, time to get back to it. Ranking game shows. That's what we're doing here. Ranking game shows. Game show tier list. So let's do it. Let's go with let's see. Let's talk about Cram. Let's talk about Cram. Now, when do you use the word cram? When in your vocabulary do you use the word cram? You usually use it in the terms of cramming for a project, for school, or that. At least that's why I hear it from. That's why I normally hear cram in. So it's largely that. Cram is they take four contestants, two teams of two, and they have them study all these books and papers that they give them and they have to stay awake for 24 hours. So they have to study it all. They have to stay up all night, remembering all this, getting all this knowledge in, cramming it into their brains, and then they're taken right to the studio to film for Cram, and they have to do a series of physical challenges while also being quizzed on the stuff that they read and all the books and the papers. And the more you get right, the more money you win. I think the winning team gets $5,000. So I guess they split that between them too, $2,500 each before taxes. Yeah, so it's four sleep deprived people doing physical challenges while trying to remember what they learned the night prior, and they win money for that. Very unique concept. I'm not sure how long they could have kept doing that. This was a product of this time. This was early to mid 2000s. This was on the game show. I think this was Game Show Network. Yeah, Cram, very, very unique. I would put this in, I put this in B, maybe. I put it in B. I think most of the episodes are archived on YouTube if you want to go check a look. If you would like to go take a look at them. Yeah, that was Cram. C for Cram. Let's do... What to do? So many choice paralysis. I don't know what the hell. Okay, so let's talk about. I should move All Star Family Feud down to wherever Family Feud is. Hold on. Let's put that here, I guess, because that's around there. Let's do. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Grab a pencil and a piece of paper. Meet your teacher. A teacher. Now we're back at school. So are you smart enough for the fifth grade? There are a lot of versions here. I don't recall. So these first two I know are hosted by Jeff Foxworthy. I'm not sure if this one was. They have it based on the logo. I assume different years, but they don't really. They don't really say what year it was. Although for some of them they do say, like for Family Feud, for instance, they say. Louis Anderson, John O'Hurley, Steve Harvey, and then these kind of syndicated ones. For Are You Smarter Than the Fifth Grader? It's basically like Millionaire, but with first to fifth grade level questions, which is it's highly U.S. centric. So I never really got most of these questions myself because having been raised in Canada and going to school in Canada, I didn't really learn much about the states. And in terms of geography, U.S. history, things like that. So, hey Grace, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy birthday. Well, thank you in advance. It's not my birthday yet. It is my sister's birthday today. We just went and sang happy birthday to her. blew out her candles. Mine's in a few days on the 17th, but thank you for the early wishes. You should wish her a happy birthday instead. Yeah, let's go. How you doing, Grace? Welcome. We're just in the middle of ranking game shows on a tier list here. I just realized the actual... Oops. It's wrong. It didn't say... Guys! It's fine. Back to... Where's my layout? There it is. Yeah, so we've ranked these so far, and we still got all this to go. All this to go. But obviously we're not gonna get to we're not gonna get to all of them. But right now we're focusing on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Like I said, millionaire, but with elementary school questions, U.S. centric. You might be a fifth grader if you think. Yeah, Jeff Foxworthy as host. Most known for Blue Collar TV, or you might be a redneck. You got $25,000. I had the DS game for this, for Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, and they had very creepy 3D models. Not appealing at all, but they managed to like fit all like the voice lines of Jeff Foxworthy on there, even if they were a little like compressed. But fifth grader in general, I don't know about these other versions. But fifth grader, I think, is they had like Millionaire, they had lifelines. So you had a peek, you also had a copy, and you had save. So peek, you could just look at, you had to choose a classmate. One of the kids that are part of the fifth grader class. I think they're all fifth graders, either fourth or fifth graders. So they had some really complex questions I don't think I've ever even learned in fifth grade. That's what I was thinking. I've read on forums and comment sections that saying that like, oh, the question for fourth or fifth grade I never learned. That wasn't a prominent thing. I don't know what school these kids were going to. It'd be cool if they said. But I guess that would cause more problems than it would solve, if any. But yeah, they had peek, copy, and save. So peek, they could just look at their fifth graders' answers. They don't necessarily have to take it. Copy means they look at the answer of the fifth grader and they have to take what they answer. And save is if they get the question wrong, but the fifth grader gets it right. You don't want to dox these. They have a Chris Hansen situation. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. Let me get a slice of that pizza. Is that cheese or pepperoni? My hungry ass will eat just about anything. Hungry, pizza for me. Give me slice now. I quote that short often. What? Yeah, fifth grader. Where's my fifth grader? Let's put this at B here. Let that B and cram below that. I think I watched fifth grade. I'd watch fifth grader more than cram. I don't know. Hey, Kotsu! Yo, what up, yo, what up? Welcome in, dude. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Welcome back. We've ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 game shows. One technically not game show. Depending on who you ask. Now we still got a lot more here. You know what? Let's go. Where's stamp games? Oh, you're right. You're right. I should have edited this and added the stamp games. It's more reality show. Kind of is. What's up, Stampy? Welcome in. Formally, welcome in. Formally. Not formerly. Formally. Oh no! I hope you're feeling better, Kotsu. Hope you're feeling better. Yo, what up? Yo, what up? Stampy cool graph. Formally, you're handsome. Thank you. Okay. How do you guys feel about this list so far? How do you guys feel about it? We've ranked, like I said, I think that's 11 games so far. So about 1/64 of the list. You're with it? Oh, it's like a Jerome style list to me. I wish I could. It doesn't say who made it. I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't say who made it, but yeah, they have a lot of shows here. Let's do. What was I gonna do? Yeah, let's do the one whose theme got stuck in my head for a little bit because it's catchy, but it's kind of bad. Yeah, it is US only. There were. I tried to look for more. But this had a more comprehensive list than I could ever put on here. There was one for UK game shows, but there wasn't enough, quite frankly. So yeah, this is for US centric ones. Savvy, you don't get to do that. Where's your proof? I'll still take it. Let's do All-Star Blitz. I guarantee you've never heard of this one before. This was hosted by Hollywood Squares legendary host Peter Marshall, and this was another. I think all the shows that Peter went to go host after Hollywood Squares was kind of Hollywood Squares based because the company that produced and made Hollywood Squares just kind of made Hollywood Squares type shows afterwards, because that sort of format was so synonymous with them. Haven't heard of half of these. Yep. Yep. I figured that would be the case. Yeah. So All-Star Blitz. If anything, look up the theme of All-Star Blitz. I can't play it here, but I'll do a close approximation. It'll be like bam 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 ba 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 ba. It's like trumpets like bam bam bam. All-Star Blitz, the bam 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 ba. All-Star Blitz, the bam 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 ba. All-Star Blitz. And then it's just like all instrumental and stuff. Boom 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 boom. On the actual song, they took out. They did. That was on the original song. They had these kind of background vocals after All-Star Blitz. They would like All-Star Blitz. And that was kind of like part that made everyone be like, I don't like this. But on the actual game show, they removed those other background vocals and just had the people saying All-Star Blitz. But how it worked is that there are 4 celebrities, and they each had 3 stars above them. They're the bottom star, middle star, the top star. And it made a grid of 6 squares, 2x3. And each time you surrounded a square with the stars, then you'll get a clue as to what it's like a phrase, right? So the phrase is spread out between all 6 of the squares. So even though it could be a 3-word phrase, but still take up the let's see. I could draw it here. I can draw it. So it'd be. What's a good color to put on this? What's a good color? Let's say red. So it'd be like this. This is a grid of 6 squares, and there'd be four celebrities down here. Celeb, and then they have a star at the bottom, middle, and the top. Right there. Like that. And then you'd say like, oh, I choose celebrity 1's top star for the top, and then you light up that star, and if you surround the star, then you get a clue that's in here. So it could be, so the phrase could be maybe take, you get I don't think you get a clue as to how many words there are. So it could be, it doesn't have to take up all, there's not one word per monitor, right? Per grid, per square. So it could be, the phrase could be take it or leave it. And it could look like, it could be like take it or, and then this one could be LE and then AVE and then IT. So they can split up words into multiple squares. But it'll always read from left to right and then the next line left to right. And that's how you play the game. And then the big Bonanza board, the Blitz Bonanza board, is the same grid, but this time you have a wheel. You have a wheel, you spin it, and it lights up a square. So I think you get 3 or 4 spins. And if you spin and it lands on something that's already been revealed, that's called a wasted spin. So you don't get anything for that. And then after your spins, also you could you win a prize after winning the game, but you can gamble the prize for another spin, hoping you can reveal another square that you haven't revealed yet. And if you guess it, then you win. I think it started at $10,000. It was in the 1980s. Yeah. Peter Marshall, really good host as it is. I mean, he's just like the wrangler for the celebs at this point. That's what he was for Hollywood Squares. Not really much of the personality per se showed of Peter Marshall, but he got along with all the stars, all the celebrities. He's just he's a well-spoken guy. But in terms of the show itself, now they're awarding like $100K. No, Family Feud still gives $20,000 all these years later. I mean, it has been decades. But for All-Star Blitz, I'm gonna say it's one of those panel shows where you give a Peter reads a question and then the celebrity will be like, "Oh, my mother-in-law," like they give like a quip and then they give an actual answer. It's like Hollywood Squares, right? Because that's what the format was. I'm gonna put this in C. Not terrible. It gets pretty repetitive after a while. There's also less quips in there. It does have the element of guessing, like the puzzle and everything, whereas Hollywood Squares, you're playing tic-tac-toe. Hi, Ari, welcome in. How are ya? How you doing? How was stream? How was your stream? How'd your stream go? Did you redeem the code? You got the code? Oh yeah, you can't go to the Paimon menu yet. No, that's right. You're in the pie. You can't get to the Paimon menu. Oh, you did redeem it? Oh, okay, cool, good. Nice. Go follow Ari, everybody, okay? Why doesn't my button work half the time? It hasn't been working recently. I hate this. All right, yeah, All-Star Blitz is at a C. We're ranking game shows, Ari. Ranking game shows. Let's do... Let's do Catch 21. Catch 21. Catch 21. Almost an hour left of the story. Ooh. Guess you'll just have to stream tomorrow. Mission failed. We'll get him next time. Catch 21 what? Pokemon? So this is a card game show. So it's you play with cards. So the object of the game is to get to 21 or nearest 21. I think in the preliminary round, I think it's the closest to 21 without going over. And then in I forget how the main game is played, but the the final round, the person who gets to go to the bonus round, can win. I believe it was either $10,000 or $20,000 if they get three stacks. If they get 3 sets of 21. So they can lock in at any time, but I think if they go over, then they're done. I think you get 10,000 for completing it, and then 20,000 for getting 21 in all 3 sets. And then once you put a card in a set, it can't be moved to another one. Oh no, I think it might be. I could be remembering it wrong, but yeah, this is hosted by Alfonso Ribeiro. I forget his last name. He's Carlton in Fresh Prince. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Seems like a fun game. Yeah. Alfonso brings a lot of energy to it. I would put this in B? I do like to gamble. I like shows that have some stakes to them. I'll put that low B. Why not? Some of these might get overloaded. It hasn't been a truly F tier show. Maybe I'll find one just for I do like to gamble. Same here. Gotcha. All right, let's do. You know what? Let's do the big boys. Let's do the big boys. Family Feud. Let's get Family Feuds and then the Syndicated. And then All-Star Family Feud Special, I believe, is the same thing. In that same era. I, too, like to gamble. So, okay. Family Feud. Family Feud. A staple at Beastmas. Family Feud started in 1976. And the run itself with Richard Dawson ended, I believe, 1985. Yes. So they had the daytime version, the nighttime version, the prime time, and then they had All-Star Family Feud Special, which they had all celebrities cast from TV shows. They had a game show hosts week at some point. Very, very lovely. Yeah, when they started doing Syndicated. You remember watching all those? I watched them on YouTube. They're all on there. They're archived. You should try watching them sometimes, Ari. So a lot of shows did this. A lot of game shows had a daytime version and a nighttime version. One for the morning, one for the afternoon, evening. So on the daytime, the top prize was $5,000 for winning the fast money, and in the Syndicated they had $10,000. Yeah, doubled that, but it was only like whereas in daytime they could do returning champions. At first in the Syndicated they couldn't. Oh no, I don't know if they were able to. I don't know if that was with Ray Combs afterwards. But as typically in the Syndicated, since it was a bigger prize pool, a bigger prize at the end, it could only be like 2. Every episode was like 2 new families. It had started off being at one. It was like 1 night a week, but then Family Feud got so popular, it became like the most popular program in television. Not just game show, just show in general. And so to keep up with demand, they not only was daytime 5 times a week, Syndicated was 5 nights a week as well. So every Family Feud in the morning had a Family Feud at nighttime. No. Hey Ari, Octo Ari, welcome in. Hello. You ever jest? All the time. How you doing? Welcome in. Hi Randy. Welcome. Oh god, baggage. Oh, you know of this? You know baggage? Oh, I could talk about baggage, dude. I could talk about baggage. Oh man. That's one for someone knowing a game show. I wouldn't think people would know. All the time, Ari, all the time. Why does Family Feud look so familiar? Oh, wait! You mean it wasn't just invented for Beastmas? No, Family Feud was an American institution. It still is. Hey, Poops! Yo, what up? Welcome, welcome. How are you? Welcome in. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Ari. Family Feud got Steve Harvey now. Yes, but we're ranking each era, each host. Are the Nickelodeon game shows on there? We got Double Dare. We got Double Dare on there. Double Dare 2000, Family Double Dare. All eras of Double Dare. Which, to be honest, I didn't really watch Double Dare. I wasn't a Nickelodeon guy. We didn't have that channel. Yep. Hey, take care, Ari. Thank you so much. Thanks for dropping in. Have a good one. Have a good sleep. Yes, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yeah, that I watched after the fact as well. Yeah, because we didn't get that. We didn't get that on the TV channels we had. Chain reaction. Ready? I just watched. Are you? Do you have Game Show Network on your cable? Do you watch Game Show Network stuff? Okay, let's finish up talking about Family Feud here, the Richard Dawson era. So every time Jeopardy is here, we're gonna get to that. Family Feud. Now Richard Dawson, he started off wanting his own show because he was on Match Game before. And he was like the favorite of everybody. Everybody wanted to match with Richard during the super match, and he was just like attractive to a lot of the ladies, especially. He talked with Mark Goodson, who was the creator of game shows at the time. Mark Goodson, Bill Todman, and he was just like, oh, he talked with them about doing his own show, and it came to be Family Feud. There was some trials and tribulations associated with that, but no, he got Family Feud. But then he was kind of like his own self during the first few years. But then as the show got more popular, I think all of that kind of got to his head a bit, and he stopped being a lot of his kind of charm kind of went away in that time, at least in my opinion. And anytime you hear Richard Dawson being talked about, you'll know that people are very divisive on the of him kissing every women on the show. And the defense that Richard Dawson gave at the time was that, I kissed them for good luck. But if you see just the montage of him kissing every woman on the show, you would think I think that at that point it's a little aggressive, a little excessive, I'd say. But there's no denying the what Richard Dawson contributed to Family Feud and its rise to success during that time. Even though he hosted for the longest time until Steve Harvey came in, but he is the second longest running host of Family Feud, the first and the second longest. So this is the daytime, this is the nighttime, this is the All-Star Family Feud special where they had celebrities and casts of TV shows and movies and things like that. Yeah, nowadays that won't fly. That won't fly at all. Like, especially he kissed them all on the lips. All on the lips. He kisses his son on the lips too. So but no, Richard Dawson. There are classic moments with Richard Dawson. I'll admit that. As Steve Harvey calls him, Richard Give him a kiss, dead in the mouth, Dawson. Yeah, for Family Feud, honestly, I'll put this in A. I'll put this in A. I'll put it above Blockbusters. Maybe above You know what? Yeah, I'm feeling generous. So that there, Cartridge up there. Easy A for Richard Dawson Family Feud. You keep getting Whose Line? Yep. Let's get some toast and let's go put some bread in the toaster. Oh, that's the one I keep saying. All right, let's move on to. Let's just go down the line of Family Feud. Go down the line. 1986. Was this 1986? Oh yeah, hold on. Let me double check something. Let me double check. When did Ray Combs start Family Feud? This was 1988. Oh, okay, this is right. 1988. That sounded wrong to me for some reason. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this Family Feud, 1986. No, 1988, sorry. So it had been off the air for a few years, Family Feud in general, and they were looking to revive it. And so they couldn't bring back Richard Dawson because by the end of Richard's tenure on Family Feud, a lot like the director at the time kind of had to take a back seat on the show, and then I think Richard's daughter or something like that, someone related to Richard became the director, executive producer, and all that. But when it came to finding a new host for Family Feud, they looked at. At first, it was a football player. I don't remember which one it was. But then they landed on Ray Combs, who was a comedian first and foremost. And at first, he didn't want to do it because, it's Family Feud. How's he gonna? He was focused on comedy, but he took the job. And Ray Combs added his own kind of style on it. I mean, he always. During his run, he always got compared to Richard Dawson, which, obviously he's like the last host of the show. But he made it his own, truly. And this one is Ray Combs' Family Feud is the one that gets, that's the visual style is what's shown on Beastmas. At first I used Richard Dawson's era set software, but over time I've grown to like the Ray Combs set, because it's the Family Feud one had a lot of like dark tones, like red and yellow, and so, but then this one had a bunch of blues and reds, and yeah, I found that more appealing, and also the music, and that one I think is better. The music they use the same music from 1986, from 1988 that they use now. But just like the main theme on loop over and over, because that's they had other songs in that music package, but they only choose to use the main theme on loop on repeat. They just there's more songs. There's more songs on the soundtrack, guys. Okay, Ari. Okay. So Ray Combs Family Feud. I could watch either era and be content, dude. I can watch either era. But for me, it's not that Ray Combs' style of hosting was different from Richard's, and that's a good thing. As in terms of who I prefer, it depends on the day. It really depends on the day. They did a lot of specials. They did a lot of specials for they did more like celebrity and all-star specials. They themed the board, or they went to Opryland, USA. And they did like a full digital board. Not digital as in they had like huge computer screens, but like they used the tech of the Fast Money board for the entire screen. So yeah. It's unfortunate what happened to Ray Combs. I I don't think that's my place to mention it here. But if you just look up how the life of Ray Combs, then yeah. But for this specific era of Family Feud, I'm gonna put it below the Dawson era. Just for now, just temporarily. I'm not sure how many we're gonna get to. I don't know. Does this save? Can this save? I might need to log in, right? You tier list save your placement. I don't want to refresh this in fear that I'm gonna lose all my placings right now. Okay. And then we get to Family Feud. I think this is 1991. I think from 1988 to I don't think Ray's run wasn't that long on Family Feud. And then 1991 came around. I forget when this one was, but when they were trying to find they were trying to bring back Family Feud again, but they wanted to bring back Richard Dawson after he became such a pain for a lot of the staff on and crew on the team the first go around. The executives came to a decision like, we need to bring back Richard Dawson. And they made this huge deal about it in the papers. When they're pitching it to TV stations and whatnot. And the result is Richard Dawson returning to Family Feud, quite a bit older looking, and has put on quite a bit of weight, because he stopped smoking when he married. He stopped smoking when he married his wife because he didn't want to have that around his children, his child, which is good. But I think as a result, he gained a lot of weight. And so one of the requirements in his contract, I believe, was to lose a certain amount of weight before he started hosting. But by the time it rolled around, he didn't lose a single pound. So he just went in like that anyways. And I gotta say, this is not his greatest work here. He didn't kiss women on the lips, thank goodness. He was married, and so he said, I think he vowed to not kiss a woman on the lips that isn't his wife, who he met on Family Feud. His wife was one of the contestants, was one of the families on Family Feud. Gretchen, I think her name is. Gretchen, I forget her last name. But the episode is up on YouTube for you to watch. And I don't know when they married. Gretchen sure is a name. I'm not sure I'm not sure he was thinking the name. He was just swooned by her. From the things I've read and from video essays that I've seen. But yeah, he was a little, his voice had become a little more raspy, and he spoke in a lower hush voice that made it kind of hard to understand him at times. And it just wasn't him as bad. It was an hour long show. This was the switch to hour-long feud, where the first half was two new families play, and then the max prize that they play Fast Money for. I think they start off with $2,500, and then they play Bankroll, a bankroll game, which is they do 3 questions worth $500, $1,000, and $1,500 each, I believe. And then that gets whichever side gets that money or answers the top answer in the question. They're looking for top answer only. That gets deposited into their bank. So they play for that amount of money in Fast Money. And then whoever wins that half of the show goes on to play the Champions of the Family from the last episode. That's not the the last families, the last champions, right, from the previous episode. So then they play for the more typical $5,000, and then the amount goes up to, I think, around, you could win 10 or 15,000 if you got all the bankroll questions. And then it's essentially just 2 games of Family Feud in 1 hour, half hour each. Not anything groundbreaking per se, but it got the feud up to an hour. But unfortunately, this only lasted 1 season. Richard Dawson returned, and then 1 season later, he left. That's all she wrote. Yeah, this is not his best. They had one of my favorite Family Feud rounds between Betty White and Vicki Lawrence. That was fun. Was it Vicki Lawrence or no? Oh, who was that? Betty White and oh, I forget. Yeah, I'm gonna put this. I'll put this in C above All-Star Blitz. I would watch this rather than All-Star Blitz. Please. This website is janky sometimes. Vicky Green? No. Hold on. Betty White Family Feud. Who was it? Carol Burnett. That's it. Carol Burnett. How can I forget? Yeah. Solid. It's a C tier. C tier iteration. Now here's where we get to post Richard Dawson here. So we got Louis Anderson. Benefit with Louis Anderson. And we got John O'Hurley. And then Steve Harvey. So there've only been so in the who's hosted Family Feud, Richard Dawson, Ray Combs, Richard Dawson again, so that counts as 2. Louis Anderson, John O'Hurley, and then Steve Harvey, which now Steve Harvey is the longest running Family Feud host of all time. So let's start with Louis Anderson. Louis Anderson, like Ray Combs, was a comedian. And I don't think he was too keen on Aneka Grandma! Aneka, huh? We'll get there, hold on. Yeah, Louis Anderson. Louis Anderson actually was a legend, dude. Very, very funny comedian. The late Louis Anderson passed away, I believe, a few years ago. But he did bring some humor to the feud. He did get along with everyone too, you know. But I think it was common at the time to mock Louis for his kind of dismissive hosting sometimes, and like tiredness from like hosting feud. I think there was an SNL sketch or a Mad TV sketch portraying Louis as this just like kind of like done with life sort of guy, you know. He's like, why am I hosting this show? He was the one that actually he was the one that convinced the execs to raise the amount of money to be won on Family Feud, and it went from 10,000 to 20,000, and that is where it stands today. This was the early 2000s Family Feud, and the fact that it got raised at that point to 20,000 and is still 20,000 today, I think says a lot about how willing they are to. Even though Family Feud's success is huge at this point, they don't bother raising the top prize any more than a mere 20,000. I feel like it should be higher at least 50,000, dude. Maybe that might be too much, but 25,000. Even on the celebrity version, they just give 25,000. Now, Louis Anderson, not my favorite of the hosts. But I think he's a better comedian than he is a host. But no, still brought his charm. There's some very sweet moments on this version of the feud too. They don't have Richard Karn here. I just realized. Tim the Toolman Taylor? Where's Richard Karn? What, you bother to get the names here and you don't include Richard Karn? Dude! That's right, Tim the... that's his name, Tim the Toolman Taylor? No, that's Tim Allen. What was Richard Karn's character's name on Home Improvement? I'm looking this up. What was his name? Fred Peters. That's right. He was Fred Peters on Home Improvement. So the new list is Richard Dawson, Ray Combs, Richard Dawson again, Louis Anderson, then Richard Karn, then John O'Hurley, and then Steve Harvey. If you want to get technical, Celebrity Family Feud with Al Roker hosting. We'll get to Celebrity Family Feud in a moment, but yeah, Louis Anderson, I would say high B tier for hosting there. Yeah, Al Roker hosted Family Feud, Celebrity Family Feud in 2008. Now John O'Hurley. Yeah, John O'Hurley is your typical. If you think game show host, an image like someone like him would come to mind. He's tall. He's a silver wolf. Yo, Dapper! Thank you so much for the raid, dude. Welcome in. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the raid. What the heck? Oh, my button isn't working again. Happy birthday. Oh, you're early, but thank you. Thank you very much. It is my sister's birthday, though. Please wish her a happy birthday. Let me get your name here, Dapper. My birthday's on the 17th, y'all. On the 17th. No worries. Thank you for the early birthday wishes, though. Dapper Raiders, here's your raid alert while I give you a shout out. Here you go. Oh yeah. Thank you so much, Dapper. Raiders! Folks, my name is Jerome, Beastfighter1. I do silly, stupid streams on the internet. Right now, we are ranking game shows on a tier list. We've gotten through about, I'd say, a 1/64th of the list so far. Well, welcome. How was, you were playing Saw? There's a Saw video game? How was that? I didn't know that was a thing. Is it new? (2009) Oh. 2009. Wow. I have to see. I have to see screenshots of this at least. What did they make a Saw video game look like in 2009? Oh, kind of what I expected. Revisiting Konami's messy, misguided Saw games on the eve of Saw X. Think of like a Telltale game, kind of. Your choices matter. Yeah, your choices matter. Either you live or you die. There's no character building at all. It's just you live or you die. That's what I imagine. But yeah, well, yeah, I hope you had fun. If you need to raid and run, no worries, no hard feelings at all. Go through your post-stream care routine, eat, drink, go piss, girl, whatever you gotta do, please do so. But thank you for raiding in. This is day 3 of my birthday month support-a-thon, and raising funds to get a new phone. Have you got to Whammy yet? No, not yet. We could do that after. We're on Family Feud right now. We could do Whammy after. Press Your Luck and Whammy. Is Whammy on here? Yes. Is there? Oh, hold on. Whammy, yes. Whammy is on here. Press Your Luck is on here. Whammy, the all-new Press Your Luck. All right, bring this back here. Okay, so yeah, Louis Anderson Family Feud, solid B for me. Solid B for me. John O'Hurley, yeah, John O'Hurley, like I said, tall, silver-haired fox. He's got the hello and welcome to Family Feud. He's got the game show voice. Very, very smooth talker. Tries to go for humor every so often, doesn't really land, but that's typical of like every host. John O'Hurley, not my favorite host either, but he kind of just followed the status quo of Family Feud. Played it very safe, you know. So I would say, I think this is when the original Family Feud music came back too, because for Louis Anderson's Family Feud, they changed it up to be more like modern sounding. But then they lost the melody of the classic theme overall. But so never know there was this many hosts on one show. Yeah, John O'Hurley, I would say low B? I don't know. Because I would watch... I'd rather watch 1991 Richard Dawson stuff than... Actually, C-ish, maybe? Yeah. If I were to place Richard Karn's tenure on Feud, I would say it's a B as well. Yeah, John O'Hurley is fine. He just plays it too safe, I think. Yeah, it would probably be. Louis funnier. Richard Karn, I think, kind of plays by the rules too, but there's some charm to his sort of presenting style. So Richard Karn would be kind of in behind Louis Anderson. Depends on the day, honestly. A lot of these choices are depends on the day sort of decisions. But now we get to the heavyweight, the one, the only Family Feud with Steve Harvey. Steve started hosting, I believe, in 2008. Has been the host ever since. He's coming up on 2 decades worth of hosting Family Feud. Way more than the 9 years. 10 if you want to count the 1991 of Richard Dawson. And this was just the start of the this is when they really started to put YouTube the YouTube channel in as like a priority here. The clips of the naked grandma, the porcupine, other ones. Listen. I don't remember all of them, but those are the main ones that people remember, and also all the questions that make Steve Harvey go. He's so good at hosting it. I agree. I think they did like a rehearsal from what I remember. From interviews, he did like a rehearsal game for that, and he through his words, I'm paraphrasing, but he said like, you know, everybody on the crew was laughing, they couldn't stop laughing, like the cameramen were laughing. That is because like he did the thing that no other host would do, and make fun of them for their answers. And not just go along and say like good answer, you know, it could be up there, right? Every answer every ridiculous answer was kind of like a mini roast, if you think about it. Like he would make it known how strange he thought the answer was. At first they told him you couldn't do that. And Steve Harvey was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm just saying what the people at home are saying." And to that degree, I think he's right. whenever you hear like a ridiculous answer, and then you just hear the host being like, interesting. Let's see if it's up there. Everyone at home would be like, "It's not gonna be up there." Yeah, good comedic timing too. Yeah. I feel like he has been going through kind of the motions a bit as of recently. He could be a little more enthusiastic about things. He was during like the first few years of his run. But it's pretty. But he's what he makes up for in he makes sure that everybody watching has a good time. And then it proceeds to be up there. Yeah. And then, those are the best, where he goes like... no, there's... Some of the earlier seasons where he's like... Let's see... I forget what the answer was, but he... it was up there and he was like, oh! He started stumbling around the set. Like, oh my god, oh! And then he goes up to the person that answered it. It's like, I'm sorry, I'll never make fun of you again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, please. Oh yeah, and the dirty prompts. There were dirty prompts in the previous iterations, previous forms of the show, but never to the amount that this has. I think that's one of the more contentious points about the question selection in Feud nowadays. We asked 100 married men, we asked married women, we asked 100 single people, we asked 100. I wish my man had a bigger wood. Something like that. And the first one, and then for the risque answers, for like penis or whatever, they put like they goof it, they like make them goofy. It's like penis would be like the man wangler, The butt would be like this bumpy rump or something. Yeah, not even big dong. They come up with new terminology every time. Like again, butt could be like flappy, the flappy meat cheeks or something. And then he'd be like, and then Steve would look at that and be like, "What the hell is flappy meat cheeks?" We asked 100 married men, name something you would like your girlfriend to do to your face. Sit on it! Or it's like at his age, it's surprising to see Grandpa still able to. It's surprising to see Grandma still writing what, and they'd be like, "Grandpa," right? Sit on it! Woo! And then they go like, "Yeah, it's up there, Steve! It's up there, Steve! It's up there!" And then Steve would be like, throws the card out. I mean, you can't deny his stage presence. The reactions get the laughs. Can't confidence it was up there though. Yeah, like it's not that nowadays, I guess. It's not that Steve is denying that it's up there. It's just that the fact that people go on live TV and then they say that and then they they say stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe he's desensitized to it at that point. After almost 20 years, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten tired of it at this point. Probably because it pays well. Probably because he's the most successful host of any game show currently. But yeah. Demographic of the people that watch don't really mind it either. That's true. The families have gotten way more enthusiastic too. That's the one thing about game shows in modern day compared to, say, the 70s and 80s. People were a lot more subdued then, which, you know, which sometimes I kind of prefer. Sometimes like, I'm tired of people being like, yeah, woo, yeah, woo, woo, woo. I get that it's for enthusiasm and they want people to be excited, but it's just like, what did they? I sometimes echo some of the people in the comment section and be like, what did they put in the air conditioning? What the? It's too much sometimes, I think. But you can't deny it makes for some great reactions, some good TV. And I think for that reason, Family Feud with Steve Harvey, I think is it's gotta be S. Honestly, gotta be S. Gotta be S there. My fave ones are to watch are when they do the 1 minute blitz thing and some people get 0 score on all the answers. Oh, the fast money. The fast money, yeah. The when people barely get they get 0 score or a very low score, and then and then he comes out. The second person comes out, and then Steve Harvey's just like, well, I've got good news and I got bad news. I think there was always just like, if you do, you cannot duplicate the answers. If you do, you hear this sound, and then it does the. Oh, I still have it. If you do, you hear this sound. You hear and then it'll be like, you're never gonna hear that. Keep in mind, even if he was tired of it, his assistant screwed him over with embezzlement, so he had to work longer to pay back. That's right! I forgot that. That's true. That's true. Ooh. Do you think that's why he's still hosting? I'm pretty sure he's paid it off at this point, but what if? What if? But yeah, with the way it is right now, I think Family Feud, Steve Harvey, fills the shoes of as host very well. And if there ever comes a time where Steve Harvey decides to step down from Family Feud, it is going to be very difficult shoes to fill afterwards. But like with the host before them, they're not trying to fill the previous host's shoes. They do their own thing with the show that they're given, and I think that's great. Yeah, Steve Harvey, Family Feud, S tier. Okay, let's go to Baggage. So as I mentioned earlier. Now, Baggage. This is a show about a contestant, I guess, bachelor or bachelorette. I don't know if it was what was the I don't know if the main contestant was always a girl. But it was a girl, and then there were 3 guys there with they have baggage. You know, they literally had suitcases. So they had a small, a medium, and a large suitcase. And the girl also had baggage of their own, which comes to play later. So there's 3 guys, and they each have a small, medium, and large suitcase. And so one by one, they reveal their small baggage, and it's like an embarrassing fact about them. And then after that, the girl has to decide which of their baggage is too much, and then they have to send them home. And then the second round, they get to know the Oh no! Wait! Hold on. Is it they send it home? They send them home right away? No, I think they think about it for a moment, and then when they come back, they show off the medium-sized luggage first. They randomize it so they don't know who's who. So they show each of the baggage, the medium-sized baggage, and then at that point, the girl has to decide which of the baggage is too much, and then the guys will go over to their suitcase and reveal like which is theirs, and then whoever's was picked, they go home, and then when it's down to 2, they answer some questions about themselves. They get asked about what they like about the girl there, what they noticed about her, yada yada. This few of their interests and talents, and then they reveal the large baggage, I believe. They reveal the large baggage, and I think from there she has to decide which of that is too much baggage, and then they send that guy home. And then at the end, so there's one guy left, but then that's not the end. Like they don't get together afterwards. After that, they have to decide now. The guy has to decide whether the girl's baggage is too much, because she has baggage herself. They get at the beginning of the show. The host is Jerry Springer, by the way. Jerry, that Jerry. He reveals 3 possible baggages for baggage things for the girl. So it's like, does she not want kids because she hates them? Did she? I think the episode I watched was, did she steal her stepdad away from her mom? And then another one. But now she reveals her baggage, and so the guy now has to decide whether her baggage is too much for him. And if not, then they both go away still single people. If they could deal with that, then I assume they get together, they go on a little date, see what happens. And that's baggage. Yes, Jerry Springer is the host. The Jerry Springer. The late Jerry Springer, rest in peace. But Jerry Springer nonetheless. It's a weird show. I don't it makes me uncomfortable sometimes. I mean the people out there are willing to reveal their kind of their baggage. I guess they know about that ahead of time. Did you write the show with the briefcases and the masked man? I mean, Deal or No Deal is that Deal or No Deal? Are you talking about 2 different shows? I don't think Masked Singer is on here either. We'll get to those. We have a lot. We have a lot, and we're 100% not going to be able to do this all. Shazam? Is Shazam on here? Is Shazam? It's not. Is it? Wait, no, it's not. Yeah, Beat Shazam, yes. Oh, Beat Shazam, that's right. Is that one here? We have Beat the Bridge, Beat the Chefs, Beat the Clock, Beat the Clock, Beat the Clock, Beat the Clock, Beat the Geeks. But no, Beat Shazam. Beat the clock, beat the clock, beat the clock, beat the clock. Beat the geeks. Whoa, calm down. I was just gonna do that. Beat the clock, beat the clock. Starts beatboxing awkwardly. But yeah, baggage, I would say it's one of those shows that just makes me uncomfortable, dude. I would say it's more interesting that it's more juicy than About Faces from the 60s. I still put it at D. High D? Low D? I don't know. Let's put it in D. Get out of my face. It might be an F. I don't know. We'll leave it at D for now. You know what? Let's go on. Oh, there's so much. We talked about Jeopardy earlier, so I think I think we should do Jeopardy a service here. Okay, we'll do Jeopardy. We'll do all forms of Jeopardy here. Jeopardy, HIJ, this Jeopardy. Where are you? Jeopardy. And then Jeopardy. I hate the site. Why don't they just give it names rather than pictures? How do they I've lost everything. Okay, Jeopardy, and then Jeopardy Masters, right? Jeopardy Masters. Okay. Okay, so Jeopardy has been through a few iterations, surprisingly. So Jeopardy, these two Jeopardys, I think this might be like Jeopardy before TV. I think I don't know. And then this, so these were hosted by these three actually were hosted by Art Fleming. Is the star of Jeopardy, Art Fleming. And it worked pretty much the same as the format of Jeopardy has pretty much been the same since the beginning. So it's still your 6 categories. The dollar amounts in this one were like $10 to $50. There were still the daily doubles. The questions were much simpler back then because the board itself was a physical board, so you still had your categories up there. But each square, someone had to be behind there and pull out a card. Pull out the dollar amount card and reveal what the answer was. And obviously you have to answer in the form of a question. That's what Jeopardy is. But yeah, the format of it, like of these two, were largely the same as what we have now. Pretty much the same. It's just that the dollar amounts have increased since then. Now, when Jeopardy came back some years later, I think this was the 70s. This was still hosted by Art Fleming, but they had a much different style. I should also mention that for these iterations of Jeopardy, someone could ring in as soon as the answer was shown. So there was no waiting for the answer to be read completely first. As soon as the answer was revealed, you could press your buzzer. Which technically they did with Alex Trebek in the first season, but they quickly kind of retconned that by season 2. Yeah, but for these ones, if the answer was the moment the answer was revealed, you could press your button. Did we run out of music? We ran out of music. Yippee! Music gone. Okay, put him. Just loop it there. I could loop this, right? Yeah, loop the album. Yeah. Okay. So you could buzz in when the answer was revealed. My goat, Alex Trebek. My goat. Also, Art Fleming is goat too. Art Fleming was a very well-spoken man too. But yeah, for these two Jeopardies, I put these. They used the same like theme music too, like the theme music from back then, like we keep using today. At least the melody. Jeopardy, Art Fleming stuff. Oh, also for this iteration of Jeopardy here, this one, they had a bonus round. It wasn't Final Jeopardy. It was the person who was the. In this one, they had elimination style. So whoever had the lowest score at the end of the first Jeopardy round was eliminated, and then those two went on to play Double Jeopardy. Whoever won Double Jeopardy went on to play the bonus round for $5,000. It was a set amount back then, and the final bonus round structure was like this. You have to answer. There were still the categories, but you had to answer questions either across, down, or diagonally. So you're essentially playing tic-tac-toe, but you have to do it in 60 seconds. You answer questions while trying to make a row or up, down, diagonally in 60 seconds. Which was a seemingly hard task to do, but from the episodes I watched, a lot of people actually got it. People are able to think really fast when there's $5,000 in the line. It also helped that Art Fleming read the questions fast, so it's not my favorite. It is a big bonus, sure. Like they never offered that kind of money on the regular on the previous Jeopardy iterations. I will say, Art Fleming Jeopardy, it strays away from the format too much. Because there's a contestant that gets eliminated like the first round. I'm so bad at Jeopardy. Yeah, I am too in practice, but it really does depend on the amount of stuff that you know. It's not really a best way to study for Jeopardy either. To cram for Jeopardy, I put the Art Fleming's Jeopardies in... I mean, it's Jeopardy, man. I put them in... I put them in A. And then the... the Revival in B. Gotta have good processing power. I'm a neural net processor or a learning computer. And then for Jeopardy, modern Jeopardy, the Jeopardy we know today. The Jeopardy that we know today. That's obviously going in S. Jeopardy's in S, obviously. The thumbnail was a lie. I don't put Jeopardy in A. Jeopardy is, you know, it's it's the classic game show that makes you feel stupid, but no, it's just good clean trivia fun, I think. There's Celebrity. Is there Celebrity Jeopardy? Where's Celebrity Jeopardy? Celebrity Jeopardy. There's another one. Celebrity Jeopardy has Triple Jeopardy, but by the nature of having Triple Jeopardy, the single and double Jeopardy rounds have been kind of nuked. So single Jeopardy is $100 to $500. Double Jeopardy would then be the regular $200 to $1,000, and then Triple Jeopardy is $300 to $1,500. And obviously this would be raising money for charity. Yeah, I put, and then there's Jeopardy Masters, which I'm not sure why they put as a separate one, because I'm pretty sure it's just like a Masters tournament. Modern Jeopardy is very good, so I was just gonna put that up there. Celebrity Jeopardy, I like watching the celebs either make a fool of themselves or run away with it. If this was more up to date, there'd be ESPN Jeopardy. They have ESPN Jeopardy now. And then there was Sports Jeopardy, separate, and then they had Jep, which was the kids one in the 2000s. There was Wheel 2000, which was the kids version of Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, Jeopardy all up there in S tier. Okay. Let's see about...
starting soon.
Oh.
Snooze 'em or lose 'em.
We're at the point, huh? Okay. Let's do a quick one. Rock and Roll Jeopardy. Rock and Roll Jeopardy. This was hosted by Jeff Probst, host of Survivor. Yeah, he hosted Rock and Roll Jeopardy, and this was for, I think this was for points rather than dollars. But I think the winner got like a cash prize for it. These were all like rock and roll stars. I put this... Yeah, this was the... Actually, this is... The Think music that I play is actually a variant on the Rock and Roll Jeopardy. But this is for Jep. This is for the kids version of Jeopardy. And yeah, I played that. The theme music, like they use that on regular Jeopardy for like tournaments and whatnot, like college championships or stuff like that. Whenever they're on the road.
Ads starting now.
Okay, we're gonna. Hello? I don't know what the frick just happened. I don't know what the frick just happened. OBS just froze. My preview froze. I was still able to select stuff, but and then it just paused and froze. I did take a pause. It was a quick. It was the fastest pause of all time. But we back. I think I made it in time for the streams to all be in one VOD. Are you back? Refresh, please. Refresh, we back. Refresh, we back. I need to refresh my stuff here. Hold on. Good thing it wasn't my whole computer, knock on wood. It was just OBS. Refresh Pokemon too? Oh, is it broken again? Yeah, I have to refresh that, okay. Okay, and... Focus on... Ooh, Tepig! Ooh, a little piggy. Is it ad time? Is there ads right now? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oops. Yeah, did we make it back in one VOD here, one piece? We are. Dun, 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 dun. We are. Bum, 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 bam, bam, bam. The Tepig broke free. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my god. Boo, bee, boo, boo. For one whole half of 30 seconds. Half of 30 seconds? So 15 seconds? Let me know when ads are done for you guys. Oh, I think it should be done right about now. I think. We back. All right. Welcome back. So what was the last thing I said? As I was saying, the so yeah, Rock and Roll Jeopardy, all rock and roll stars, hosted by Jeff Probst. Not my favorite of the Jeopardy stuff. I would still say it's Jeopardy. I mean, if you love rock and roll, then this is for you. But for me, I would probably put this in B. Probably put it in B there. Is there any other Jeopardy stuff? I don't think so. Okay. Let's go with this one. Let's go here. This is WHEW. Now, how do you pronounce that? How would you pronounce that? Well, any pronunciation you're thinking of in your head is wrong. You pronounce it WHEW or as in the sound you make when you get into a close call. It's called WHEW. So a few, but kind of. It's not a few, but a shoo. I'm not sure if few was a term. But you did pronounce it like shoo. So this was hosted by Tom Kennedy, another game show host legendary game show host. The intro for this was actually made by Hanna-Barbera, I believe. There's like close calls, narrow escapes, split-second decisions, and $25,000 in cash. A combination guaranteed to make you say, phew. And so the premise of this game is there are two contestants. There's a returning champion usually, and then a challenger. The idea is one person would be the charger, and one person would be the blocker. So there's a board with multiple levels ranging from $10 to $50 on each level. I think there's 5 levels and a 6th level with only 3 boxes there. 100, 200, 300, 200, 300 and $400. And what the charger has to do is to choose a level and a dollar amount, and on each of the dollar amounts there's a fact that has a blooper in it. They call it bloopers. So it would be like what would be what's a fact? Why can't I think of facts right now? It's in sea life, it's the female seahorses that give birth, and then that female thing would be underlined, and then that would indicate that that's the blooper you need to fix. So in this case, say like, oh, it's the male seahorses, and then if you're correct, then you would you go up to the next level, and so on and so forth. But the blocker can put blocks on certain dollar amounts on each level. I think they have 6 blocks to work with, because they can put blocks on any and all of the levels. Only 3 maximum per level, and then only 1 on the very top level, the 6th level. So whenever the charger hits a block, they have to wait 5 seconds before choosing another dollar amount, and they have to make it to the top in 60 seconds. But they have an out if you are running out of time and you don't see yourself getting up to the 6th level. You can call for a long shot. What the long shot does is it stops you there, it stops the clock, and whatever level you're on, you immediately get taken up to the 6th level. Now the catch is that the blocker can place another block on that level, or place a block or another one, depending on where they put the blocks. It's most likely they put a second block there, so it's riskier because now two of the 3 dollar amounts on the 6th level are blocks. So the charger has to get lucky and pick the one that isn't blocked, and then answer the blooper correctly, or correct the blooper correctly. And then that's how they win. So the blocker wins if the charger doesn't get to the top, or they don't, or they get blocked in the last level of the long shot. And the charger wins if they reach all the way to the top of the 6th level and then answer that last one correctly. Yeah. And then whoever does that, it's best of 3. And then each board has different categories. Has a different category each round. And then the end game is the row of villains, the row of 10 villains that are revealed. They peel back the set, and there's another set behind there with a gauntlet of villains, they call it. And you get 60 seconds, I believe, initially, and then you get additional second for each $100 you won during the main game. So then that gets added onto your time there. And then you have to answer bloopers quick now. You have to answer 10 of them to get the $25,000. And after that, your reign is done. I'm trying to think of any other stipulations on that. You can't move on past the villain until you get a blooper right. So you have to stay in that spot. Which kind of makes sense. You don't lose progress, but you don't gain progress if you can't answer a blooper correctly. And later on, they because ratings were slipping, they decided to bring on celebrities into the mix. So it was still 2 contestants, but each contestant was paired with a celebrity partner. And then they kind of. On the main game, they alternate between choosing dollar amounts on different levels, and then for the final, for the bonus gauntlet, one half does one person does the first half, the other person does the second half of the gauntlet. Game shows level celebrity partner. I'll tell you this right up front. Back then, if a show introduced that didn't initially have celebrities on it, introduces celebrities into the format, then that means it's a dying show. That means it's their last hope for gaining eyes on the program. Whereas like in hopes that a famous name, a famous face will attract more eyes on the program. It was usually their last ditch attempt. Trying to think of which one of these had that kind of. I don't think any of these. None of these that we've done yet have had that fate. But phew, it's fun to watch. Honestly, it is tense. And you could probably scream at your monitor or your screen whenever someone doesn't answer like a blooper right away that you know. I put this. Do I want to watch it more than Louis Anderson Family Feud or Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Probably. Fifth Grader is kind of like a slow burn. I'll put this in A. Or maybe high B. I don't know. It is fun to watch. It is fun to watch. But please watch it if you can. And again, I encourage anyone to look up like any of these game shows that we've looked at so far. There's a good amount of these on YouTube and other legal places. Okay, let's do. Oh! They have this. Have you guys ever thought about what would happen if celebrities were horses? Or at least treated like horses. You have celebrity sweepstakes. You kind of see they're in the sort of like in the kind of a horse race starting line here, Uma Musume style. So yeah, there'd be 6 celebrities here. It's right from the start. It's called Celebrity Sweepstakes. Like they start the program with like with like the and yeah, there'd be 6 celebrities and then two contestants, and then the people in the audience are the ones who set the odds. So what that means is that before the show, they're handed kind of like one card summaries of the celebrities, of like what they know and what they don't know, their interests and whatnot. And so according to that, from gathering information on that, the audience set the odds for the celebrities, which means that okay, the host is Jim McCrell. The host asks a question to the celebrities, and the celebrities have to write down their answers. And then the audience has to decide. They say like which of the celebrities would most likely get the answer right, essentially. And then those set the odds. So the most likely person would be 1-to-1 odds, and then 2-to-1, and 3-to-1, 4-to-1, etc., etc. So and then the contestants start off with $20, and then they have to bet a certain amount of some money on a celebrity. So if the question was like, what bridge came? Example, a really easy one. Like what bridge came falling down? And then you could say like, I bet $5 on Dick Martin, right? Or Dick Clark, you know. A lot of dicks. And their odds would be dependent on what the audience voted for, right? So betting on higher odds celebrities would obviously induce a higher risk. And you get your money paid out according to the odds. And there was a lot of that. And then there was and the final one was either you bet half or all of your winnings so far, and then you have to choose a celebrity with a final question, and then you have to choose a celebrity to and then you hopefully get the answer right, and hopefully you bet all, and then you double your money. or you get the money according to the odds. The odds are still played. Very interesting concept. I'm doing a bad job explaining all these, I assure you. But Celebrity Sweepstakes is one of those shows that you have to see for yourself to experience. They literally come like they come out of these like swinging doors, and they all come moving forward all at once. It's fine. I put this in B. I'll put this in B. Why not? A lot of B's here. Doesn't mean they're bad. Doesn't mean they're bad. It's not B for bad. Oh, thank you, Kotu. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's do. I'm trying to do the ones that I've heard of before. Let's do the $128,000 question. I know you're thinking, why a very specific amount of money? Because it's how they multiply it. Because they start with a certain amount, and then they think they double it each time. So the premise here is this. You're selected to be a contestant, and then you are asked different trivia questions of varying difficulty. As you move up these various levels for different amounts of money, the questions become harder and harder and have more parts to them. This was hosted by Alex Trebek, this particular iteration. And I'm not sure if anyone actually got to 128,000. I'm sure they did. But this was 70s money. But yeah, I think you'd start off with $32, and then 64, and then 128, and then just keep doubling it. Or it gets to a certain amount, and then yeah. But yeah, 128,000 was the max. You'd have to, it's a certain amount of knowledge to cram into one into a question, because I think at the top, I think some of the top questions had either at least five parts to them, no more than 8. It was based on a certain thing, so it was tangentially related to, I guess, the person, but even so, you have to give the right parts to the right answers to each part of the question in a row. You mess up once, and then you're done. And I think it's all or nothing too. You might get I think you might get $1,000 for participating, but it's either at that point it's either all or nothing. It's trivia. It's trivia. Wait, why did the D and the F switch? When did that happen? What the hello? Did that switch, or did I just imagine that? Was it always like that? What the hell? $128,000 question. It's not that the thrill of it comes from seeing if they answer the question correct or not. In that sense, it's not that exciting. It takes a lot of knowledge, sure, but in terms of just like a viewing experience, I don't know. I wouldn't place it really high. I think it's maybe a D. I'd watch it more than Baggage. Yeah, that there is a, yeah. I'm kind of rethinking placements now, but we'll cross that bitch when we get to it. Speaking of Family Feud, America Says. This is a Game Show Network program, and it's essentially even more watered down Family Feud. The questions are more, of course, more tame, more family friendly, and this is hosted by also legend John Michael Higgins, who hosts another show on here, which I might get to. Yeah, America Says. So it works sort of like Family Feud, but you're shown the question. The screen is is the shape of America. So it's a very weird board shape. But the way it works is that there's 2 teams of 4, and one team starts off and they're given like a survey question, and they give you the top 7 answers. And then they give you the first word, the first letter of each answer. Each person down the line has to give one answer each and hope that that's up on the board, like one of the top answers. And they have 60 seconds to do so. It's either 30 or 60 seconds. And they get a bonus if they run the board, but if they don't, then the other team can steal by guessing the remaining answers, and then each answer is like 100 points. But anytime they try to steal and they guess wrong, then the round ends. Also, who also banned Roombas? Yes, exactly. The same one, the very same America. And then they do a few rounds of that, and then the final round is they have to the winning team of 4 has to go and play the bonus, where they have to first find the one top answer for a question, the top 2, top 3, and then top 4. I think top 4 is the final one. And I think they have a collective 60 seconds to do so. They have one pass. They have a button in front of them, which is to pass to the next question, but they only get one the whole time, that whole final round. So they have to use it wisely. But yeah, and then they win. I think it's either $10,000 or $15,000. The standard on Game Show Network, like for jackpots on like original programming, is usually between $10,000 and $15,000. Split between 3 or 4 people. We don't want to give anybody too much money. No, America says it's fun. It's fun stuff. Fun stuff. It's very tame. You still got the same overreactive people. That used to be enough for a new car. Dude, like 40 or 50,000 was enough for a new house and buying land. America says, probably. No offense to John Michael Higgins, I'm gonna say B for now. A lot of bees. A lot of beeswax. Bees in the trap. And speaking of John Michael Higgins, where is it here? Here's Split Second. Split Second, let's bring all the Split Seconds up here. Now that we have it. Hi, Monster Fun. Yes, these are American. How you doing? Welcome in. I couldn't find a comprehensive list of UK game shows. There are some I like. Let me tell you what. Big Break? Anybody? It's only a game, so put up a real good fight. That one is good too, but I'm so bad at it. Okay, so the way it works in all of these is generally the same. It's just the bonus round is a little different. This one's for cash. These are for like cars. So the general way it works for all 3 of these Split Seconds is that there's 3 contestants, and then you're given questions. So, and then if you give it, depending on how many people get the question right, you get that amount of points. So if one person gets it right, if 3 people get it right, it's 10. For example, it's 10 points. 2 people, 25 points each, and then one person all by yourself, 50 points. It might be 10, 15, and 20. I'm not sure. But it changes from each round. The second round obviously has higher points. And that's really about it. Yeah, you have to buzz in. You also have to buzz in, and the order that you buzz in is determined like, so let's say the question is, Baskin Robbins has 31 plus flavors. Which of these? Tell me which of these flavors is real or fake. So they'll give like a list. They'll give a list of 3, and then each person can buzz in. So and the order they buzz in determines what order they answer in, right? So it could be that one. It could be that let's say you know one of the answers, but if you buzz in after someone that takes your answer and gets it right, then you're forced to go for another one that you may or may not know, right? Does that make sense? You generally want to be the quickest to buzz in because the one you want, because you're most likely to get to the question that you want, or to respond to the answer that you want. And then that's essentially the main game. And then the final game for this one, I think for this one, for the initial split second, it was just like, you just pick a car. you pick which car is the one that like starts the key they have. For this one, you have to guess from a selection of 4 panels. You either get cash or you get the car. For this one, it's all cash. For this latest one with John Michael Higgins, this was hosted by Tom Kennedy. This was hosted by Monty Hall. This one was hosted by John Michael Higgins. And this is for cash. You have to get, I believe, 10 answers correct. You have to. There's 2 answers. You have to pick which one goes with the statement that he gives. I guess this one has more. This is more skill testing than these ones. Because this one you have it's just a choice between cars. This one was just a choice between cash or a car. This one you have to actually like answer more questions. Oh, that's fun too. Unfortunate, Monster Fun. Unfortunate. What's the best one on the tier list? Can you explain it? Right now, I have Family Feud and Jeopardy. The modern day Jeopardies. Family Feud with Steve Harvey particularly. And then the modern Jeopardy right now. Family Feud is pretty self-explanatory. Family Feud, Family Fortunes. Another if you're in the UK. Jeopardy. Jeopardy is your standard answer question. Or answer in the form of a question. It's just classic. It's just classic Americana. Literally, like, you could tune in, anybody could watch these. There's not much explaining to do, really. These ones are close too. I only know the red version. Yeah, this one here, split second. Yeah, I didn't know that it was I recognize the name Split Second, but I didn't know it was actually like the same format as the previous ones. So, okay, for the original Split Second, I'll put that at a B. The Monty Hall Split Second, it's a little worse, but largely the same. I'll still put it in B. And then the John Michael Higgins one, the current one, maybe a higher B. John Michael Higgins is good at his job. I'll tell you what. They haven't been truly F tier ones, but Baggage is getting close. Baggage is getting close. Let's talk about... I didn't bring this Celebrity Family Feud. Celebrity Family Feud, I'll put up in S as well. Well, actually, some of the celebrities can be really stupid, which I don't know if it makes it worse or better because it's funny sometimes. Celebrity Family Feud. American Gladiator, yeah. I just, like with some of these shows, I didn't watch these prior to look at this list, so I did watch a few of these. Celebrity Family Feud I'll put at it had Kim Kardashian on it though. High A. High A on Celebrity Family Feud. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's do American Gladiators. American Gladiators. Yeah, you wouldn't think of this as a game show, but yeah, this is a bunch of like physical challenges for people. There's two teams, one male, one female each, and they have to do a selection of physical trials, and they earn points accordingly. And I forget what the one of them wins, but I can't even explain why only the OG. This one, the initial one here. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't really consider it a game show. I mean, it is a show. It is kind of that in which you score points, and they kind of do matter. So it is a game show, but it is enough to be. Is it not enough of a game show to be not a game show, but still great? I don't know. Yeah, I can't really give much insight on these ones. As I never really I would put it there. Yeah, I tried to watch a couple episodes of both iterations to get a grasp on what it was. Again, this was not something I watched growing up myself. But all I could say is that I wish I had their physique. They look fit as hell, buff and hot. So yeah, let's put it down here at not a game show, but still great. The new one in F tier? I mean, I didn't think it was bad, really. If we were considering it to be a game show, I'd be F tier. But I'll put it there for now. I'll reserve my judgment. I'm biased. Okay, let's go with a game show I think Stampy would like. This is called Mind Readers. It's literally called the game of Hunch and ESP. So the premise of Mind Readers is that there's two teams of three. Three males, three females. And I believe yes, if I remember correctly, the premise is that it would be either the males or females would be asked the question first, and then they would answer secretly on their panel there, on their little box, and it was up to the other team to decide whether each of the other team, which of the other teams were which of the other team members, like on the opposing team, said yes or no to the question. If they get it right, then if they get it right, they win, like, they get $100 or whatever. Each. And then they go down the line. But the moment they guess wrong for that individual, then it immediately gets, I think they get the money, and then it gets switched over automatically to the other side. And you just rack up money that way. And then whatever you rack up in that... No. You get that money, and then whoever has the most at the end of a couple rounds moves over to the bonus game, where they get a panel from the audience of 10 people, and you have to guess how many of them said yes or no to a certain question they ask. Oh god, I wish I could explain this better. Let's see. Hold on. Mind Readers game show. I want to get this one right because this wasn't a very good show. There really wasn't much to do. Yeah, let's read this together. Bonus round. A jury of 10 randomly selected audience members participated in the round. Dick Martin reads a question, for which the jury members secretly lock in their answers, and one contestant on the winning team had to predict how many of them had given a specified answer. Oh, so you have to guess how many of them said yes, or how many said, so I guess it alternates. The team won $500 for an exact guess, and $200 for being within 2 persons either way. Each contestant had 1 turn in this round. If none of them had won any money on their turn, the bonus game immediately ends. Oh. Each correct response is $50 in the main game, okay. The captains who gave it, while each miss gave the money to their opponents. Control alternated between teams on each new question. The first team to reach $300 won the game and advanced to the bonus round. Both teams kept any money they earned in the game. Okay. Fair enough. So it's easier to have yes or no questions to guess better. Yes, yeah. So I guess they would alternate between like how many of them said yes, how many of them said no. Are you a mind reader? Yes or no? Did Elaine Joyce say yes? Did Charles Nelson Riley say no? Find out as we play the game of Hunch and ESP Mind Readers. Yeah, it's not really an engaging show per se. It's another one of those like wait and see what happens. They try to spice it up like with the amount of money you can win. I think I'd put it. Dick Martin's not bad either, but I'd say D. Above, I'd watch it above $128,000 question. I just thought I'd go to for legal reasons I could. It's a support-a-thon. Yeah, mind readers. But I feel like Stampy would enjoy this. Because she does have the power of ESP. And it's literally the game of Hunch and ESP. Okay, let's do... Is that Quicksilver? Some of these I haven't heard of before. Or that I didn't catch them on my initial go-around. It's gonna grace the F tier first. I don't know. Dude, it's like the baggage is closing in. It's closing in. Let's see. Let's tackle match game. Why is there so many? Oh, okay. There's a lot of match games. Okay, hold on. Match game. And then we have 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 who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Match game. And then who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? It's a match game. Oh, this one. Okay. This is quite the list. Yeah. This is quite the list. Okay. Match game. Let me rearrange this so it's appropriate here. PM. Okay, that's good. Okay, so the initial match game went from 1973 to I believe 1979. This was the daytime version, and then That ran for that amount of years. Each time the year rolled around, they have to change the name of the program so it's Match Game 73, Match Game 74. It was denoted by the year it was. And then once they got into prime time, at least into syndication, not syndication, but like prime time hours, they named it Match Game PM, which went on until 1980, I believe. Or around the same time that 79, because Match Game 79 was the last numbered match game, and then Match Game PM went on, and then when they went into syndication, which is so. I don't know if anybody knows the difference between syndicated and not. So syndicated just means that they don't pitch it to a certain network, because Match Game is usually on CBS. I think also Match Game PM was also like that as well. I guess this was also syndicated, but it's not pitched to just one network. They pitch it to multiple networks, and they choose the stations to broadcast them on. So yeah, this Match Game went on until 1981, and so this was considered this is the Gene Rayburn arc of Match Game. And I've met people who can't stand this format of game, where it's just like you ask a question and you wait for the celebrities to make a response, and you do the quips, and then blah blah blah. But I don't know. I like the format. I like peering into just the casual talk of celebrities on these kinds of shows in the 70s. Much more subdued back then, but we could still get pretty wild. Wild for 70s time. There was a whole deal where the first time a contestant said boobs, and the whole audience went berserk, because at that time, you couldn't really say things like that. You need to like say it in a different way, or kind of skirt around it, or not say the obvious answer, right? Did you catch it, Stampy? Hey, you did it. Stampy, Mind Readers, your game show. This is yours. It's the game of Hunch and ESP, literally. That's what they say. Dude, that's quite literally the clip. Hold on. I wanna play it. I want to play it. Where is it? The boob walkouts. Hold on. Hey, high five! Yo, what up? Welcome, dude. Welcome. How you doing? Tier list is on screen at the moment, but where is boob? I'm just finding a clip. Hold on. I found it. Here it is. Pause here for a second. Do this. This is March 4th of 1974. The boob walkout. Not bad. The boo. So I think it was coming from one of the panelists. I don't remember who. I couldn't tell. Boo! Yeah, high five. Welcome in. Here's the list we have so far. It's a little... Oops. Right there. Okay. You know what? Maybe I could leave it... No, let's leave it like that. Show us your feats. That was the biggest berries I ever saw. Yeah, it was... That whole show became like the Wild West of whatever was gonna happen. Whatever they're gonna say on national television. Big Jeopardy fan, eh? It's just classic Americana, you know? It's tried and true classic trivia. I'm a little biased, maybe. That was the Fever Dream episode that broke into chaos. It definitely was like the kind of the starter, the lighter, the fire starter that ignited the flame of like, oh, now we could say boobs now. Nice, poops, nice. Well done. Family Feud is S tier, yeah. Family Feud with Steve Harvey, S tier, I put there. Celebrity Family Feud, I put top of A. And then the Family Feuds before that were various places. A for Richard Dawson, Ray Combs. B for Louis Anderson. There was John O'Hurley at C. If Richard Karn was here, then it would probably be B as well. But yeah, for match game, I would say a match game could be hilarious. I would put this at. I put these at A. Well, and then regular match game could be at B maybe because this syndicated match game was after Richard Dawson left, and then I think during match game 78 was when Richard Dawson left here, and then PM the same, just Richard Dawson left halfway. So yeah, I think I feel comfortable with that there. Well, yeah, well, yeah, maybe, yeah, yeah, maybe there, around there in the B tier. And then we move on to match game. This is 1991. I think this only lasted this season. This was hosted by Ross Schaefer, who I believe is also a comedian. Which was originally going to be hosted by Bert Convy, but I believe was too ill to host because of his brain tumor. But this one had so I forgot to even mention like the format match game. So it's essentially there's two contestants, a panel of 6, and you're read a question with a blank in it, and then the celebrities fill in the blank, and then the contestant is asked to fill in the blank, and if they match along with any of the celebs, they get they get a point, and whoever answers that with them correctly in the first round, in the second round they need to match with the other celebs. So it's basically you get 2 rounds to match with all the celebrities, or as many as you can. Whoever matches the most at the end of 2 rounds then wins, goes on to play super match, where they can win $5,000 by guessing by that's actually the precursor to the Family Feud. The super match is the precursor to the Family Feud, where they asked the previous studio audience to write down the answer to the blank that they gave to them. So like eggs and blank, right? So top answer $500, second most $250, third $100, and so they asked 3 celebrities for suggestions for an answer. They could take one of those, or they could give their own. And so whatever they pick, and then whatever is revealed there, they multiply it by 10 to get whatever amount they won at first. It's either $5,000, $2,500, or $1,000. But if they don't get any on there, then they just move on to the next game. But there's still a returning champion though. And then for PM, it was kind of largely the same. But I think later on they introduced they introduced 3-round games, where now it was 3 rounds to match with everybody, and then they could win $10,000 by doing 2 super matches. So the max you can win is, so one you can win 5,000, you can win 500, and the other you can win 500. Add those together, 1,000 multiplied by 10, $10,000. And then later on during the daytime match game, they added a star wheel, because everybody kept picking Richard Dawson to be their in the super match thing, like to match them with the super match. I forgot to win the 10,000 or 5,000. You have to pick a celebrity to match with head to head, and then you're given like one last prompt, and then you have to fill in that blank. It has to be exact match with the celebrity you picked. And if it is, then you win the money, the big money. If not, then you just win. You win whatever you won during the super match there. So you still keep the 500 or the 250 or the 100. But now, since everybody kept picking Richard Dawson, and the producers started to notice that everybody on the panel started to notice that, they decided to add a star wheel, which added an element of randomness to it. Well, even before that, oh my god, I forgot this. Even before that, they added a rule where it's just like, you can't pick the same celebrity twice, like in a row. So if you picked Richard, you can't pick Richard, and you win again, you can't pick Richard again. So you have to pick like another celebrity, because they wanted other people to actually play the game, I guess, right? They wanted other celebrities on the panel to play the game. And then after that, they reverted that change, and then they added the star wheel, where now on the daytime you can double your money. So if you get 5,000 on the super match, then you can spin a wheel, and then if you land on a celebrity that you're going to be matching with, but also you can land on that little strip where you can double your money, where it doubles the money up to 10,000. So then now in the daytime you can win 10,000, and now on PM you can win 20,000 even. But yeah, the first time when they introduced the star wheel, the person spun it, and guess who it landed on? Richard Dawson. Of course it did. Because of course it did. And then then they walked out. And then they walked out as like a sort of like, all right, I'm done. This is... So that was that. And then Richard took it as a slight that, that Star Wheel is they're trying to get rid of him or whatever. They're trying to put less emphasis on him. And so I guess in retaliation, Richard Dawson kind of got more boring on the show. Like he didn't make as many jokes or quips. He was very uninterested at everything. Because usually before you give an answer, he'd give like a whole joke or whatever. But in his final like weeks on Match Game, he was very straightforward with his answers. He just gave his answers straight up and like not give any entertaining quips. He in that sense became the least interesting person on the panel. The least funny. While everyone was trying to like make a joke or a quip.
Ads starting soon.
Oh really? We're at that point already? Oh my god.
Your viewers, that is.
Why did he stop being funny? Because he was getting the sense that they were trying to like get rid of him or like put less emphasis on him. Because he was getting all the attention. And introducing the star wheel was kind of the nail in the coffin for that. But he was doing that and still hosting Family Feud at the same time. So I guess it was also tiredness from the schedule, because Family Feud was growing in popularity. Match Game was once the top show of all time on all of television. But then that was slowly being encroached on by Family Feud. So I guess in a sense Richard also thought that he was better than that show, I guess, at that point. All right, we're gonna pause for ads, then we're gonna do a few more, and then we'll call it there. I definitely don't
Ads starting now.
This list will definitely not be done today. Because there's a lot. But I have one last thing too. After we sort Match Game, then there's one last one I need to do a truth bomb on. Can't wait for part 2. Me neither. That will most likely be, I don't know when. Maybe next week, but next week is also Reg P. My friend Daniel, Mr. Pyminster's Pokemon tournament, which I'm a part of. I'm going to be part of this Reg P. Excited? For my birthday? Yeah. If I do stream on my birthday, it'll probably be later on in the evening, my time, because I don't know what the plan would be. if anything's if the family wants to go anywhere or something happens. I don't know. Something happens. It's okay if it's after birthday week, just sometime this year. Gotcha. I gotcha. Meteor happens. Oh, just 1 second. One jump ahead of the bread man, one swing ahead of the sword. I steal only what I can afford, and that's everything. That button mash? It is. I was gonna say something happens, huh? Sometimes you just gotta go for it. You don't gotta preface what you're gonna do with that. Because then I'll expect it. I guess I was expecting it at first, but anytime I hear the word happens, the first thing. I'm so glad. I'm so happy. That makes me happy. Meteor happens. Basically, it's like the Big Bang, and then meteor happens. You did this to me? My friends, Simple Flips did this to me. Simple Flips just started saying it a lot, and then I started saying it a lot, and now it's become part of my vocabulary. Meteor happens. Okay. Oh, hey! Welcome back from ads. Welcome back. Let's finish up ranking match game here. 1990s match game. This one's largely the same, but they had a new they had a new element to it where it's not, you can match with each celeb each round. Like, it's not like once you match with a celeb, then you couldn't match with them in the next round or whatever. Each celeb was playing each round. But then in between rounds, they have this catch-up mechanic where they choose a celebrity and then they have to make these quick matches where it's just like and each answer is like 100 points or 200 points. So you pick a celebrity and then you're given really quick like blanks here. So it's like blank falls, and then there's a choice between two of them, and then the contestant picks either of the two choices, and then the host Ross Schaefer would say both choices, and then the celeb would pick one of those choices and hope that they match with whatever the contestant chose. So in this case, it's like predetermined choices to fill in the blanks. So you have to do as many as you can in the allotted time they give. I think 20 seconds. Now it's not a lot of time. So however many you get, that amount gets added to your score, like 100 points per correct answer, and then the other person gets to do the same. So see if that like evens out the playing field a little bit. Because in the initial match game, it was easy for someone to win on the first question of the second round. Because the challenger always went first. I think they changed that later on. The challenger who was behind always went first, and they had to get, if they were behind, they had to get a certain amount of celebrity to match with a certain amount of celebrities to stay in the game. But even then, the person who was ahead could still, get more matched. And such. Etc. etc. Yeah, this one, Ross Schaefer doesn't strike me as like game show host type. But it had a good remix of a good rendition of the main theme for Match Game. But I think I'd still put this on B, low B. I like the pilots that they had with Bert Convy. I feel like he would have been a good match for Match Game. And then we have Match Game 1991, I believe. This was hosted by Michael Berger. Not well known in the game show space, but he's hosted a few shows here and there. This one reduced the panel down to 5. I don't exactly know why. Cheaper, maybe? It's just, I don't know. This is not really that good, to be honest with you. It only lasted for a season. And I think, I'm not sure if they made some format changes to the last one. But yeah, I don't like this one as much. It's probably going to be C. It's match game, so it's still pretty entertaining, but it's just one less celebrity, and just the the theme was bad too. They kind of got rid of all of the hallmarks in that set that made match game what it was. So, and then we get to a very odd addition to this. This is the match game Hollywood Squares Hour. We haven't talked about Hollywood Squares yet, but that is essentially playing tic-tac-toe with celebrities, in which like Hollywood Squares is you pick a celebrity, they read a question, they give an answer, and then the contestant has to say whether they agree or disagree with the answer. And so if they get it right, if they choose right, then they get their square, either X or O, and then you win a round if you get 3 in a row across down diagonally, or get as many squares as you can. And then they chose to pair that with Match Game. The first half was Match Game. The second half was Hollywood Squares Hour. So Hollywood Squares, as I mentioned before with Peter Marshall and All-Star Blitz, Hollywood Squares was hosted by Peter Marshall, but they didn't get him to host Hollywood Squares. So you know who they got? John Bauman, otherwise known as as Bowser from Shanana. And yeah, it wasn't. He wasn't playing his character. He was just John Bauman. I only mentioned 2 guys named Dick Clark, Dick Martin. That was it. If that's too much Dick for you, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, but Hollywood Squares, hell yeah. I might get that one next. But yeah, this one was a weird combination, because the winner of the match game portion, they still had the 6 celebrities and whatnot. The set was pretty cool though. The set was like this giant light wall, but like but very few pixels, so all the names are pretty chunky, and they had to get creative with how they put letters on that big board. But yeah, the winner of that match game, but they played match game as normal, including tiebreaker and all. And whoever won that part goes on to the Hollywood Squares portion, where they compete against the champion from last game, from yesterday's game or whatever. And they had this whole thing where they swing in the set for Hollywood Squares, and then the back panels light up for X's and O's. It's kind of a cool transition, I will say. But yeah, they changed up the rules of this one here. For Hollywood Squares, if you're close to getting a 3 in a row, and you choose that, if you're the one going to get 3 in a row, you choose the celebrity to get you 3 in a row. If you get the question wrong, then No, if you were the one trying to block the person trying to get your opponent trying to get 3 in a row, then, and you get that question wrong, but your opponent doesn't get the 3 in a row. They have to earn it themselves. With this one, they changed it so that even if you're trying to go for a block, if you get that question wrong, then your opponent still gets the square, and therefore the 3 in a row or whatever, or what have you. Kind of a BS decision, but I guess that was to make like that kind of segment go faster or something like that. It was also the only, allegedly the only Hollywood Squares that didn't give them predetermined like joke answers or like ahead of time, really. Because I think it's pretty well known at this point that some of the celebrities got notified of like what questions were going to be on, and they give them like material accordingly for that. It was usually based around their character or things like that, things of that nature. But allegedly this was the one where they were not given any thing beforehand. That was their honest, genuine answer. But in these ones, in this particularly for the questions, it's usually some of these are just like open-ended. But for this one, it's mostly, I think, 99% multiple choice. They give you a choice between two answers. So it wasn't really that hard. It's a 50-50 every time, but. And then the winner of whoever had the most money after the Hollywood Squares portion goes on to play the super match of Match Game, where they do the whole super match thing, and you can win. I think it was $30,000 because if you win, you get it's either $250, $500, or $1,000. And then that's right. So you hold on, hold on. Gotta make sure I'm getting it right. Okay, got it. So, sorry. So, whatever you won, that was yours to keep. But then you choose one of the celebrities, one of the 9 celebrities on there now, and each of them had a little card on their podium that they pull up and they reveal a number. Whatever number was on there, they would multiply whatever earnings they have right now, and then that's what they would be playing for. And then there's only one. There's some 10, a couple 20s, and then there's one 30 card, which means if you win 1,000 and you get the 30, then you get to play for 1,000 times 30, $30,000. And even if you especially it's unprecedented for that time, because like even if you win the 30,000, you could still come back and win another 30,000. So you keep winning and winning. I don't know if there was a limit. If it was a network, I'm sure it was. It's CBS. But yeah, if you won, you get to you come back and defend your championship in the Hollywood Squares portion. There would be 2 new contestants for a match game each time. So yeah, it was a weird mishmash. But I can't say I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it, because I do to a certain extent. Because I'm not sure what compelled them to join the two together. Match Game, Hollywood Squares. They're very different games. I guess this is in a way Gene Rayburn's way of making Match Game an hour, technically, because it's like you play it for the first half hour and then you play the super match after Hollywood Squares. So technically, you're extending Match Game to be an hour. But it didn't last. But it didn't last very long, if I recall. Maybe 1 or 2 seasons. And Gene Rayburn was reportedly very not quite enthusiastic to be working with John Bauman. I'm sure we'll eventually get to press your luck. Oh, okay. Are you demanding? I know I was gonna do that earlier, but there's so much we have to get through, so forgive me if I get Pop Culture Jeopardy. Oh, they have that here? Oh, shoot. Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour, I would put in C. Above Family Feud? No. But, well, I'll put it there. In C. Really quick. Where's Pop Culture? Pop Culture Jeopardy! An offshoot of Jeopardy hosted by Colin Jost of SNL fame. And it's basically just like pop culture. It's pop culture centric questions in a Jeopardy format. They changed it between seasons where there used to be 3 people per team and now there's 2. So it's instead of like 3 teams of 3, now there's 3 teams of 2. And for the season that we watched, there's a new addition to Jeopardy called the Triple Play, to Pop Culture Jeopardy especially, specifically, where they were given an answer and there were 3 answers to that question, or like 3 possible answers, and then so each member had to give a correct answer to get the points. I think there was a bonus, I believe. Yes, the Michael Larson, yes, for Press Your Luck, yes. We will get to that. But Pop Culture Jeopardy, I mean, it's still Jeopardy, man. It's still Jeopardy. I would put this... Wait, watch this above regular Jeopardy? I don't know. The questions aren't any easier, really, but I guess I recognize more of them. Hi, A. Hi, A for Pop Culture Jeopardy. Let's see. Yeah, let's do Press Your Luck. Let's do Press Your Luck. I need to get more water, honestly. You know what? I need to get more water. I will be right back. I won't be around for long. Don't go anywhere. I'm back. All right, Press Your Luck up here. And then let's also get Whammy over here. Whammy, the all-new Press Your Luck. So this technically came before it. Okay, so the premise of Press Your Luck. A light goes around the board, you press the button, say no whammies. If you get a whammy, then you lose all your cash and prizes you accrued up to that point. On the board, there's cash, obviously I said before, there's prizes, there's spins which you can get, and you can gamble more. If you get 4 whammies, then you're out of the game completely. You get spins by answering questions in the first kind of half, the first portion of the game. So if you're asked a question and you give an answer, if you're the first to buzz in and you get it right, then you get 3 spins. If you guess it right afterwards, then you get 1 spin. And then you just go to the board and you spin. You have the option to pass your spins to another player if you don't want to risk your winnings or whatever. If you pass a spin to a person, that person has to take those spins before they get to their own spins, which they can pass over, which they can pass back. So it can become like a pass situation. But again, you have to no whammies. If you landed on whammy, then there's usually like a cool, like a funny little animation that plays based around sometimes pop culture at the time. But yeah, and then of course, as already mentioned, the infamous Michael Larson, who watched a whole ton of Press Your Luck before going to his taping, and he managed to figure out that there's only like a certain amount of patterns that they use for the board. So like he would watch the lights, and if he could see that the light goes this place and then this place, then the next one would be this place, which is usually the big money. So that's how he did. Like if you watch his game, then you'll see that he'll usually stop at the same spot on the board each time because he knew that certain pattern. I don't know how many patterns there were, but there were. It was enough. It was it was enough for him to recognize them consistently. The level of neurospicy. I guess so, yeah. But then when all that happened, I guess everyone calls him a cheater. You know, I guess that's our first instinct. But it wasn't cheating. It wasn't cheating at all. He gamed the system. He figured it out. He cracked the board. And then afterwards, they put in more patterns after that. They programmed more patterns. So it was I guess by any definition, I guess, unpredictable. But yeah, he won the most. Of course he won the most money out of anyone. I think over $100,000 worth. Exactly, Ari. Yeah. That's what it came down to in the end. He just was better. Built different. But then of course I think he blew it all. And I think the story is more tragic than I remember. They definitely panicked. Yeah, of course. they're running the network out of business almost. Not really, I don't know. Yeah, but the premise is cool. I guess the only skill testing thing about it was the questions. And then if you were Michael Larson, then figure out the board patterns. But otherwise, it's just literally a game of luck. No lemons, no lemons, and stop. Yeah, I would say B. I had watched this above 5th grader, maybe. Above match game, maybe. I'll put that there. And then by extension, like probably the new Press Your Lock here, the modern one with Elizabeth Banks. The first one was hosted by Peter Tomarken. This current one is hosted by Elizabeth Banks. And I think the only difference is that there's just more cash. There's more prizes. Oh, there's a bonus round too. There's a bonus round, which is so much money. So much money, a lot of prizes. And I think there's a bonus is that if you reach a certain money threshold in the bonus round, then you automatically get bumped up to $1 million, I believe. So like if you reach a certain amount, you would reach $1 million. Cash would be added on top of that to reach $1 million. So that was I remember someone got very close. They landed on his and her Teslas, and I think they just missed the mark. They just missed the amounts, but they still won like hundreds of thousands worth of cash and prizes. So I can't be too picky with that. I guess it makes sense from a national television standpoint because everyone knows your name and face. Yeah. Dang, they got Tesla money. His and her Teslas. Yeah, so essentially 2 Teslas. I don't know the model. I don't care to know, but it was 2 Teslas, essentially. The car. I'd love matching Teslas. Actually, would I? I mean, after all the promises that Elongated Muskrat kept making and then taken away, and then the car is becoming more and more of a like less capable, becoming less and less capable, more and more less capable. Feel like it might not start in 40 degree weather. Good luck getting the door handles. Because aren't they recessed and you have to press and pop them out? Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with that. The door handles. I saw one when we went to the amusement park, and I so desperately wanted to be like. Maybe I'll sell it instead. I don't know what the resale value is, yeah, but maybe it might be wise. Cybertruck, the Cybertruck. I assume Tesla truck and Cybertruck. Oh, not the truck? Door handles are annoying at best. My friend has one. Yeah, I really wanted to look them in the eye and be like, okay, let me finish. Oh, Tesla. Oh, I see. Gotcha. I have a hot pink one in Fortnite though. Get out of here. Okay, Whammy, the all-new Press Your Luck. So this was made after the original Press Your Luck, and this is hosted by Peter Tamarkin. It was originally going to be hosted by, no, this was originally going to be hosted by Peter Tamarkin. Oops. But it was hosted by, Todd Newton. That's his name, Todd Newton. And this was meant to be, this is the modern Press Your Luck. The board is truly random. There's no set patterns. The board light the chasing light is truly random. And there's no way you can Michael Larson your way on this one, and no one ever did. They had a special actually where they brought back. I think they brought back the two contestants that faced Michael Larson and also Michael Larson's brother. So that was interesting. And then also Peter Tamarkin did come back to. He hosted the pilot at first, but he also did come back to guest host an episode on this one, which is cool. And then they have this new edition called they have the break the bank thing. I think each time something is rolled, each time the board is rolled, that cash equivalent goes into the bank. And if they land in the bank space, I think they have to land on it twice. I think they need to get 2 keys of it. But they have the opportunity to break that bank by answering a question, and then if they get it correct, then they break the bank, and whatever's in there, they add to their score. I think, but it can still be lost. Then it gets added to their total. It can still be lost if they whammy. Let's bring out the cheaters. Family member. No. I think everybody knew the story at that point. The brother wasn't like a part of the, as far as I know, it wasn't a part of like the scheme, quote unquote. But yeah, it's still enjoyable. They also had the double whammy, where they it's not worth 2 whammies. It's still worth 1. But not only do they take all your money, they also like dump stuff on you. Like if it was a pillow fight or something, they dropped a bunch of like down feathers, or if it was water, they spray down like a mist and like a little bit of pouring water. Basically, you get dunked on physically, and so that's fun. I would put this. I'd also put this in B. Maybe above a little above the original Press Your Luck. Yeah. Okay. I don't have a lot of time because I have to wake up early tomorrow, but I think we can end on one more, and it might be the biggest one of them all. It might be the biggest one of them all. Let's go. Okay. Let's get all of them up here. Price is Right. Mm-hmm. 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 And mm-hmm. Okay. Let's start off with the OG. OG Price is Right, hosted by Bill Cullen. What a guy. So this is the original. It worked very differently from what we know today, because they're still bidding on stuff. But I think it's just whoever could bid the highest. I'm not sure. I'm not too entirely sure how it works. I've only watched a couple episodes, and even then I couldn't parse it. Maybe because I was just like half paying attention. Because the kind of talk they have in the 50s and 60s is just sort of drab. And Bill Cullen makes the most of it. He makes quips and jokes from time to time. But yeah, the original Price is Right, before the Price is Right we know it today, I would put this. It's not bad. I put them both at a C. You know what? I put this above Family Feud. I actually watched this more compared to the Richard Dawson revival Family Feud. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. I'm more used to the more modern Price is Rights. But let's talk about before we get to the main events. Let's talk about the other versions. Let's talk about the syndicated 1972-1980. So this is the nighttime Price is Right. This was originally hosted by Dennis James, who hosted some shows as well. I don't think that any of them are on here though. But I think towards the end of its life, it was also hosted by Bob Barker. So Bob Barker was hosting the daytime and the nighttime. The nighttime was half an hour, whereas the daytime had already transitioned to hour long. The nighttime was still a half hour, so they still had they didn't have the showcase showdown, the big wheel. They just had the 3 games, and whoever won the most, the 2 that won the most money went on to the showcase. And it's Price is Right. Price is Right. It's classic. It's Bob Barker. I would put this. I'll put it A. I'll put it above Celebrity Family Feud. Why not? Never understood Price is Right when I watched it as a kid. Me too, kind of. Mostly because there's just a lot of games. And it seemed like every time I watched an episode, there was a new one. Right. And then we get to syndicated 1985-1986. So this was another nighttime Price is Right. This time hosted by a name we've mentioned before, Tom Kennedy, from Split Second, I believe. So they got this. I don't know how it came to be. And even Tom Kennedy was just I really felt out of place there. I was trying to follow in the footsteps of Bob, or trying to lead by example, or try to follow by Bob's example. But this was still fun. This was another half-hour version. I think this was a historic one because there was a game called Punch a Bunch, where someone punched one of the holes and then got $50 but a second chance, which means that they get to keep that and then punch another hole, and then whatever they got in there, they would add that together, and then they would see if they wanted to keep it or go on. But someone punched it, got $50 but a second chance, and then punched that, and then that hole they punched, they won the $10,000. So they technically got over the maximum amount they could win, $10,050. That was historic in that sense. But yeah, Tom Kennedy, I do feel that he's a little out of place in that on that show. I guess because he's not used to that kind of attention on him, because they still do the same. You guys remember when I showed you the cinematography of of Price is Right in the like 84, 85 era. They still did the same camera moves for Tom Kennedy. And it kind of felt like I don't know if it felt like he deserved that. To me, I think he did, because he's a legend in his own right. But yeah, for Tom Kennedy's Price is Right, I would put this at A, sure. A. Price is Right in this era is good. I like this era, and Tom Kennedy is good too. Now we go to this Price is Right. This one has a fancy 3D logo. It's tilted. This is called the new Price is Right. Which fun fact, the Price is Right after the original one was also called the new Price is Right before they changed it back to the Price is Right. But this is called the Price is Right, but they called it on the show, they called it the new Price is Right. And this is airing alongside the current Price is Right. This is another syndicated version. And so this was hosted by Days of Our Lives star Doug Davidson. And I think this was only for one season as well. Maybe 1 or 2 seasons. And so they had the same I think it was still a half hour, and they still had the 3 contestants, but they weren't called on down right away. So they would introduce they would do the intro, they'd bring the host out, and then Doug Davidson would be like, "Who's our first contestant?" They call the first contestant, and then they just came up straight up on the stage. They didn't have to go into bidders row or anything, contestants row. It just if they were called on down, they went straight up on the stage. Which I guess that was unique in that sense. And then it was like that. It's the same for the next 2 contestants, and then those 3, instead of the top 2 going to the showcase, there was only 1 person going to the showcase. They would show 1 showcase for 1 person. So the 3 contestants of the show would be down in contestants row now, and then they would play. Sorry, and then they would play The Price Was Right, where they watch a commercial for an item in, let's say, the 50s or 60s. Let's say it's a car, and they have to guess the price of what that was back in that year. And it's the same as contestants row. Whoever bids without the closest without going over wins and goes to do the showcase. And the showcase is much the same. They show you the prizes. You have to add up the total in your head. But now they have this rangefinder. So it's like the pricing game rangefinder in Price is Right, but it's for the showcase. So you have to. There's a range from a certain amount, from minimum to a maximum, and there's a thing that goes up with a red strip along the bar, and you have to stop it whenever you feel like that range is within the actual retail price of the showcase. And if you do that, you win. It didn't last very long. It didn't help that Bob Barker was also dunking on that show. He kept being like, people getting confused. This is the new Price is Right. What happened to the old Price is Right? I don't think he liked that show very much. I don't think he liked the new Price is Right. He liked his Price is Right. Thank you very much. I would put this in... The rangefinder for the showcase is kind of interesting. Adds another level of chance. But... I put low B. Put low B, if anything. But yeah. Yeah, Doug Davidson as host. Not bad. Not great either. He stumbles a lot on his hosting. Like, not that I'm any better. I'm stumbling on my words right now, currently. But yeah, it's not bad. Okay, now we come to the main event. The Price is Right. The show has been running for 50 plus years, and with Drew Carey at the helm since 2008. If you ask me who I'd prefer, I'll just say this right now. Who I prefer as host, Bob Barker or Drew Carey? When in the years that Bob Barker hosted, you can tell that he really wanted people to win, and he took the time to get to know people and since he was on there for so long, he knew all the games and everything, like the back of his hand. And he was good at building suspense too. He wanted the audience at home to have a good time, but also he wanted to keep the suspense for the contestant. And yes, there's the whole like controversy with the models and you know, Bob being a little bit of a hound dog with contestants and a little bit of misogyny, right? It was there was some of that, but you can't deny that Bob Barker hosting that for 35 years. That became his show, and he a big advocate for animal rights. They stopped offering fur coats as prizes because of that. You know, that's why if you tune into like the Pluto TV like Bob Barker era channel, you'll never get episodes before like that were before Bob became vegetarian or vegan or whatever, and started advocating for animal rights. Any show that offered like fur coats as prizes, I don't think you'll ever see on the Bob Barker era channel on Pluto TV. But Bob Barker is not host anymore. It is now Drew Carey, and I just don't like his style of hosting. Whoops. It's the fact that, you know, he's just following it by the books. He's trying to make it himself the center of attention rather than the contestant at times, or I'd say most of the time. The thing I keep complaining about is the big wheel specifically. That's one of the factors. I mean, it's nice that he says that he continues to say the at the end of the show he continues to say that have your pets spayed or neutered. Make sure to take care of your mental health. He says I love you, which I do at the end of streams all the time, and you know, it has some merit to some people. So, but then it's things like the Showcase Showdown, the big wheel, where he's just like, oh, you want to say hi to somebody? I don't care about who they want to say hi to, because it's the same every time. I want to say hi to my mom, my dad, all the people watching back home, my dog. It's some variant of that, like my brother, my sister, my blah, blah, blah. It's just the same thing every time, and he just keeps the microphone on them until the wheel sometimes stops spinning at that point, and. You know, he could rather be. I get that it's their time on TV, sure, but this could be the time where Drew can say like, oh, this person just played Vendo Price, and you know he didn't have had an easy time at that. Let's see if he's gonna have an easy time here on the wheel, just spending $1. According, if his luck is any indication, it may be the case. You know, stuff like that. Just talk about what happened throughout this game more. The whole program used to be live to tape, meaning that they only have a specific amount of film to use because any sort of editing would be very expensive to do. So they had to work within the time that they were given, including commercials. Right, so there's someone with like a timer like backstage. They have like the time code on the screen to indicate how long they've been running for. And you know that was the tight ship they ran for that show. But now, and there's an amount of authenticity to it too. Like with the people that like have the like over the top reactions like that was rare in the 70s. Your grandparents wanted to take me on that show? Really? That's cool. Do you remember what year did they ever make it on? That's cool. But yeah, and then Drew's too fidgety. I mean, I'm one to talk. I like to fidget a lot, but I don't know. It just feels less. Even though there's a lot more lights and screens and stuff, I feel like the production value is less, right? Because with from before the camera like technically you could turn around in the current set and like any shot is gonna be nice looking, but for what they had in the 80s, they really tried to ham it up with the camera moves and the kind of angles they had on when showing contestants' faces or like the prizes and whatnot. The coordination needed for that comes down to a really good director too. Okay, we're good. Because they're a really good director, which they had by the name of Mark Breslow, and then they fired him for a less good director when Bob became executive producer. Producer? My grandfather was too afraid to try to be a contestant. I'll ask him, maybe see what year they did it. See if they... Oh, maybe we could see their... Maybe we could see them. Let's find their episode. Yeah, so they had like the starburst lights, where they made the lights have like a little like star effect on it. And they made it so that like they really made it so that Bob is the star of the show, like and like all the attention's on him. But Bob made it a point to make the contestants the stars as well, because he always says without contestants, like, there would be no show. So he always tries to like, you know, make them feel comfortable as much as possible. And back then there was a sense of urgency too, because now that it's not live to tape, this is my other point. Now that it's not live to tape, they can just edit around anything, and you know, Drew will be like, "Oh, I don't want to rush the contestants because it's their one chance. I don't want them to mess them up." But the sense of urgency is what makes it, you know, tense, right? If someone's gonna take all the time in the world to do something, it's just gonna take up more time, and then you're gonna have to get someone to edit that. Whereas if you did it all in one shot, then you wouldn't have to, you know, do all this. I get that you want to like mix it later, but like, can't you just do that on the fly? Isn't that what the crew is supposed? Isn't that what the people behind the scenes are supposed to do? I have barely any experience in television, little to none. So, but it's just a guess. Like, would that be their jobs to do? It just feels, it feels cheap or chintzy in a way. All the camera work is sometimes sloppy, you know. They use like really generic music cues now, whereas like there's some really iconic music cues they use for prizes in the Bob Barker era, and then they slowly stopped using them for once Drew Carey started hosting. I mean, they still kept them around sometimes, but now it's just all generic, royalty-free music that you barely remember. I have my other gripes, but it's largely Drew, dude. I don't know. It's comparing apples to oranges, really. Like I said before, with the Family Feud host, they're not trying to fill in someone else's shoes. They're not trying to be the other person. They're bringing their own style, their own hosting style to the show, and I still think that's pretty good. That's a good thing to do. That's cool, but I don't don't know. It's like with Steve Harvey. Like I'm sure, I don't know if Drew's getting tired of it. I don't know. I don't think he is by the looks of it, but I'm sure it pays well. But yeah, if I had to, let's count. Price is Right at night is just not primetime. Price is Right, nighttime Price is Right. Again, but with more money and more prices. So it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same problems there. Goated Pigs, what's up, She? Hello. What's up? Welcome in. Welcome. You made it for the final little thing we have here before we get to all of these next time. I'm not sure if all of these once again next time, but it seems like we didn't even make a dent. Because this is what we ranked so far, and this is what we still have left. So yeah, hi She, welcome in. So let's say this Price is Right at night is the Drew Carey era, and this Price is Right is the Bob Barker era. I'm gonna put Bob Barker era at S. Drew Carey era. At C. I know it's just become monotonous. It's become so the same, and the contestants, they're just so over the top, and I know that's what they're being told to do, but it's man, I don't know. Maybe I'm becoming the old man here. A spry, almost 28 years old. But yeah, it's just I'll watch it, but I don't know what I'm getting myself into. You know. And that's my take. Hey, and thank you for the 3 stream streaks, She. Thank you. 3 stream streaks, She. Thank you. Let's see if you can dethrone Pyminster at 120. Y'all too noisy. And they also switched studios recently. It stopped becoming like it stopped being like coming up on stage. I think they're all pretty much on the same floor level now. I think the audience level is like raised up a little bit, but there's no staircase no more. Which I thought was like the novelty of it. It's like come up on stage. Like you literally have to walk up on stage, whereas now you just have to like turn a corner and you're already there. But yeah, this is our tier list so far. Again, this is not every game show ever. Not even on this list. Not even on this list is every game show. But yeah, that's it. And then we still have all these to go through. We got Beat the Bridge, Beat the Chefs, Beat the Clock, Beat the Clock, Beat the Clock, Beat the Clock, Beat the Geeks. There's Bumper Stumpers, Bruce Forsyth Hot Streak, Chain Reaction. Got the Double Dares, all of them, the Chase, Crosswits, Game of Life, The Floor, all the Hollywood Squares, Joker's Wild, Liars Club, Let's Make a Deal, all of these. But these will have to wait until next time. Next time we do this. So yeah. Why? Why again? Why? Why'd it happen? Why? Why'd it happen? What'd happen? What'd happen again? What'd happen? What the hell? What is happening? Well, what a fitting way to close this off, I guess. Oh boy. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for listening to my opinions on game shows, and if you agree or disagree, let me know. But thank you again to Dapperstein for the raid today, Punk Skunk Dapperstein, and to whoever liked and subscribed on other platforms and all that. If you did follow all that, I see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thanks for being here. Let's go and oh, by the way, in terms of schedule, I don't know if I'm going to be streaming on Sunday. Probably. Can you post the tier link in the Discord? Sure, yeah. I'll post a screenshot there. So also for posterity. But yeah, let's reconvene sometime soon to rank the rest of these. Sound good? Yeah, Sunday I don't know if I'm going to be streaming, but it'll probably be later in the evening. But yeah, the supportathon goes on as well. Ko-fi.com/beastfighter1 if you want a tip, or if you want to sub and give any sub or bits also count as well, of course. Any amount of support helps, and I appreciate it very much. I'll put the link there as well for you guys to make your own tier list. Maybe it is a lot. Bits count? Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Kosu. Thank you, guys. And yeah, if I don't stream on Sunday, the next time I'll see you will probably be Monday. On my birthday, but it'll probably be later on in the evening as well. So don't expect anything like too glamorous or anything. I'll probably just stream whatever I want then. I don't know what, but... Hey, thank you, Stampy! Thank you for the 10 bits, thank you. Merry Birthmas! Merry Birthmas! Thank you, Stampy. Hearts in chat for Stampy, please. Alright. Let's see who is live right now. Hide this, that's what I'm gonna do. Minimize that, don't close it. Let's go raid, let's go raid Ty. Ty is streaming Peak with... Oh, they're not doing... They're doing Peak with, Anti-Human Rep right now. Let's go say hi to Ty. There's so many people I want to... I just wanted to let people know there's so many people I want to raid that I have a hard time choosing, but we'll go say hi to Ty. Let's go. Copy whichever raid message you have access to, whichever one you want. Just know that I love you either way. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I love you so much, and I will see you possibly Sunday. If not, I'll see you Monday for another stream. Sorry about no Splatter Day potentially. If I stream Sunday, it'll probably be Splunday, but but until then, have a good rest of your day, time zone, and I'll see you guys soon, very soon. Bye everybody. Bye bye. Love ya. Love ya. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Go 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 now. Go go go.